This anime is no less than a Hollywood blockbuster. A boy and girl fall in love without even knowing each other, in a story so beautiful and mind-bending, it leaves you speechless. The film is Your Name, written by Makoto Shinkai and praised worldwide. Truly one of the best romantic anime movies ever made. The story begins with a girl named Mitsuha who is seen sleeping in her dream. She calls out to a boy asking, "Have you forgotten me?" Suddenly, she wakes up startled, confused. She looks at her chest and begins pressing it. Just then, her sister Yotsuha walks in and, annoyed, says, "Mitsuha, what are you doing? Hurry up, breakfast is ready." Then she storms out of the room. After her sister leaves, Mitsuha stands in front of the mirror. She takes off her clothes and, staring at her body in shock. The next day, we see Mitsuha having breakfast with her grandmother. Her grandmother told Mitsuha, "You seem normal today." Mitsuha is surprised because she doesn't remember anything just then. The radio starts a transmission, announcing that this year's elections will be held on the 20th of next month. Along with that, there's exciting news: a rare comet, which appears only once every 12 years, will be visible this month. Mitsuha gets ready for school and leaves with her younger sister. On the way, she meets her friends Tessie and Sayaka. Sayaka jokes, "Today you fixed your hair properly." And Tessie teases her, asking if her grandmother finally chased away the spirits. Mitsuha is confused and doesn't understand what they mean. They pass by a man giving a speech for upcoming elections. A little further on, Mitsuha meets some classmates who tease her by calling her the mayor's daughter and the contractor's kid. Embarrassed, she quietly walks away. That man tells her to walk straight. Everyone around notices, and soon her classmates start laughing at her. Mitsuha mutters under her breath, "Why did he have to humiliate me in front of everyone?" Here, we learn that the man is her father, who is running for mayor. Later in class, Mitsuha stares at her notebook in shock. It has the strange words, "Who are you?" Meanwhile, the teacher explains about twilight, the magical time of day when it is neither day nor night, a mysterious moment when the boundary between worlds feels thin. Meanwhile, Mitsuha is still puzzled, wondering who wrote this in her notebook. Suddenly, her teacher calls out her name, startling her. Her teacher told her, "Today you remembered your name." The entire class bursts into laughter. She doesn't understand why the teacher said that, but then learns she had been acting strangely. Sayaka tells her, "Yesterday you even forgot your locker number. And not just that, you didn't even tie your hair properly." Mitsuha is shocked and whispers to herself, "How could I do something like that? It feels like I've been living in a dream these past few days. As if I were living someone else's life." Tessie replies, "I get it. You must be seeing dreams from your past life. Maybe part of your brain slipped into another dimension." Mitsuha is completely confused and doesn't know what's happening to her. After school, everyone heads home. On the way, Mitsuha whispers in frustration, "I can't take this town anymore. It's so small. There's nothing here. I wish I could just disappear for a week." Meanwhile, we see her family preparing for a traditional ceremony, a custom passed down from their ancestors. Her grandmother explains that when threads are woven in this ritual, they create emotional bonds between people and time itself. She also tells a story from about 200 years ago, when a terrible fire broke out in the home of their shrine's caretakers. The fire spread through the entire town, destroying temples and ancient records. She explains that it is their family's duty to keep the festival alive, at least through its ceremonial practices, or else it will vanish completely. She also mentions Mitsuha's father, who left home, gave up his role as the shrine's caretaker, and is now involved in politics. Following this, Mitsuha and her younger sister begin performing traditional rituals among the townspeople. They start with a ceremonial dance, helping to keep their cultural heritage alive. Later, during a festival ritual, Mitsuha and her sister start handling cooked rice in a traditional way. Some classmates notice and comment, "How can she do that in front of everyone? Doesn't she feel embarrassed?" Mitsuha hears this and feels even more self-conscious.
Mitsuha and her sister carefully sealed it. After completing the ritual, they head home, still feeling frustrated. As Mitsuha walks home, she mutters to herself, "I hate this place. I hate my life. In my next life, I want to be a handsome boy living in a big city." Next morning, we see a boy sleeping peacefully. Suddenly, he wakes up to find himself in a completely unfamiliar body.
Shocked, he looks down, realizing his body feels different. Stunned, He checks himself in the mirror, trying to understand what has happened. Meanwhile, his father calls out to him, telling him to get up, eat breakfast, and get ready for school. His father heads out for work. That boy keeps thinking, what a strange dream. Suddenly, he receives a message from a Tsukasa. Confused, he wonders who is this Tsukasa.
As he steps out of his apartment, he's shocked by the bustling city around him, so different from the quiet town he's used to. Using a map on his phone, he finds his way to school, still unsure about which class he belongs to. Then, his friend Tsukasa, who had sent the message, catches up with him and says, "Wow, you're late today. Let's go for lunch." Takei told Tsukasa and Shinta Takagi he got lost on the way.
They told how it's possible. They told let's go to cafe. When he hears about cafe, he becomes excited. When he reads cafe menu, he told with how much they ordered. The bill could feed a whole family. And his friends tease her for being old-fashioned. He tells it's just dream why I'm taking tension. His friends doesn't understand what he is saying. He started to eating food. His friends told him, don't you need to go to work?
He told yes, but do you guys even know where I work? His friends look at him strangely. Takei is shown working as a waiter in a fancy restaurant. He keeps making silly mistakes, spilling water, messing up orders, and bumping into customers. He told when this dream come to end. One of the customers gets annoyed and starts arguing with her. Just as the situation is about to get worse, a beautiful girl steps in. Her name is Okudera-senpai. She calmly tells Takei to step aside and assures the customer. After dealing with the difficult customers, the scene shifts to the restaurant closing time. Everyone is cleaning up when Okudera-senpai tells Takei, you made quite a lot of mistakes today, but luckily everything got fixed on time. Just then, another girl quietly points out to Okudera, your skirt is torn at the back.
Okudera gets shocked and says, maybe that rude customer did it. Hearing this, Takei quickly grabs Okudera's hand and takes her inside, shutting the door. Okudera feels nervous, but Takei panics and says, no, it's not what you think. Takei lends her something to wear and sew her skirt. Okudera smiles, saying, you get angry so quickly. I like your kind side. Later, Mitsuha, inside Takei's body, thinks, I could live in Tokyo too. Mitsuha thinks it's all just a dream, where she's living Takei's life. While checking his photos, she finds a picture of a girl. Surprised, she says, Takei likes her. She writes diary in his mobile. Then she remembers someone had written, "Who are you?" in her notebook. She writes her name on Takei's hand before sleeping. The next morning, Takei wakes up and is shocked to see Mitsuha's name on his hand. He checks his phone and finds strange diary. He is completely confused in school. His friends told him, "Do you remember way of your work today?" Takei, still lost, doesn't understand what they mean, but goes to work. His friend Okudera told he is normal today, but Tsukasa told he was really cute yesterday. When Takei enters the restaurant, his co-workers are already waiting, looking annoyed. They scold him, saying, "Yesterday, you even walked Okudera home, didn't you? You're stealing our chance with Okudera." Takei is shocked and doesn't understand what's going on. Just then, Okudera winks at him and walks inside. Seeing this, Takei is completely stunned, and his face turns red with embarrassment. Meanwhile, Mitsuha wakes up in her own body. She saw lots of words on her hand. Her younger sister Yotsuha enters and scolds her. "You're not touching your chest today. Hurry up and come eat breakfast." She storms off, leaving Mitsuha blushing and embarrassed. She thinks to herself, what is going on? Later, when she goes to her class, everyone stares at her strangely. Confused, she asks her friend Sayaka, "Why is everyone looking at me like that?" She told that, "You are acting strangely," and you suddenly kicks a chair. She is shocked to learn what she had done because she doesn't remember anything. She quickly runs home and looks at her hands, where many notes have been written. Meanwhile, Takei checks his phone diary and finds notes too. Both realize that this is not just an ordinary dream. They are really switching bodies. For the next few days, this continues. Living each other's lives, they cause a lot of confusion. Finally, they understand that every other day, when they wake up, they end up in each other's body. Their bodies had swapped. After changing places, they barely remembered what they had done. But from the changes around them and people's reactions, they realized the things they had caused. So, they set some rules for each other what they could do and what they should not do. They also started writing in each other's diaries before going to sleep, recording everything they had done during the day. But still, both messed up each other's lives a lot. This continued for many days. Takei gave Mitsuha's image the reputation of being a bold, daring girl who became very popular in school, while Mitsuha made Takei's image into that of a sweet, caring boy who got close to Miki, and now Miki was beginning to like Takei. Both Mitsuha and Takei were very annoyed by each other's actions and wanted their lives to stay the way they were, without interference. One morning, Mitsuha wakes up in Takei's body and is about to adjust himself like usual, but then suddenly stops, thinking, I shouldn't do this. Meanwhile, Mitsuha's little sister yawns in. Seeing Mitsuha again pressing her chest as usual, Yotsuha scolds her, saying, Hurry up, we need to leave. After this, we see them walking through the mountains. They are going to perform a ritual. They had prepared kachika mosaic to offer to their family's guardian deity. Mitsuha's grandmother explains, Do you know what this really is? It's actually a way for us to communicate with our guardian deities. When we eat or drink, the essence from our body becomes a medium connecting humans and gods. Today, we are offering it as a unique link between us and the deities. A little later, they reach their destination. Mitsuha looks around and says, So this is where the guardian deity rests. To reach the site, they have to cross a small river. Mitsuha's grandmother explains, Once you cross this place, you enter a sacred space. To return to the human world, you must leave everything behind here. Half of what you've brought will be offered to the deity. After following these instructions, they carefully enter the cave to complete the ritual. They offer their ritual items and leave them there. On the way back, Mitsuha's little sister takes her to a spot where they can clearly see something beautiful in the sky. Her sister points and says, Look, it's the comet. But Takei, inside Mitsuha's body, doesn't understand what she means just then. Mitsuha's grandmother quietly says, Mitsuha, you're still dreaming, aren't you? Suddenly, Takei wakes up. His eyes are wet with tears and he doesn't understand why. At that very moment, he gets a text message from Okudera, reminding him of their date today. Seeing the message, he quickly softens up, realizing what he had forgotten. Meanwhile, Mitsuha also wakes up in her own body. As she gets ready for school, she suddenly remembers today is Takei's date with Okudera. She stares into the mirror, her eyes filled with tears, and for the first time she realizes she has feelings for Takei. Later that evening, Takei goes out with Okudera, but he seems restless, nervous, and lost in thought. Okudera notices and says gently, Takei, it feels like you're not yourself today. Almost like you're someone else. On the way home, Okudera finally admits, You know, I always liked you. But now it feels like your heart belongs to someone else. After saying this, she quietly leaves. Takei looks at his phone and finds a note Mitsuha had written for him. By the time your date is over, the comet will appear in the sky. Takei looks up at the night sky in confusion. What comet? There's nothing there. At the same time, we see Mitsuha back in her village, dressed in a beautiful kimono. Her friends are surprised Mitsuha has cut her short, and they can't figure out why she suddenly did that. As the festival begins, Mitsuha and her friends watch the night sky in awe. Just as predicted in the news, a brilliant comet passes close to Earth. Everyone admires the dazzling sight. But then something terrifying happens. The comet suddenly splits apart, and one massive fragment hurtles straight toward Earth. That night changes everything. After that day, Takei and Mitsuha never switch bodies again. Takei wakes up every morning, hoping that maybe today they'll switch the body once more. But it never happens. Time moves forward, and the memories of their strange connection start to fade. Still, Takei can't let go. Using the sketches he made from when he was in Mitsuha's body, He tries to find her town. He searches through maps, old photos, and even the internet, piecing together fragments of memory. With his drawings in hand, he sets out to track down the place where Mitsuha lived, determined to meet her in person. His friends don't know exactly what he's searching for, but they support him. Together they wander through towns and villages, following any lead. But Takei doesn't even remember the town's name. All he has are his sketches of a lake and the surrounding mountains. He asks countless people, but no one recognizes the place. After searching endlessly and growing exhausted, he finally loses hope. With a heavy heart, he gives up. They went to eat ramen, and there they found about Itomori. They went there. Takei's friends try to reassure him, saying maybe he's mistaken, but Takei insists. No, this is the place. The mountains, the schoolyard, the buildings, everything was here. Then comes the heartbreaking truth 3 years earlier. A comet fragment struck Itomori. Hundreds of people lost their lives that day. Takei is in shock. Just days ago, he was in Mitsuha's body, living in this very town. Desperate, he pulls out his phone to show his friends Mitsuha's notes. But the words have vanished. Nothing is there anymore. Confused and broken, Takei can't understand what has happened. And with this shocking twist, the story hits its mind-bending interval point, the moment that changes everything.